Welcome back, everyone, to another segment of the MCR. Mac and me. My name's TJ, wearing my U.S. Army hat, and Mac's wearing his Ultra Mega hat, so that's cool. In this segment, I'm sure everyone's heard by now about Tucker Carlson releasing the video last week. And I know not everyone is a fan of Fox. And there is even a little bit of a side story that maybe Fox News somehow put a stop to him releasing additional video. Not really sure how much that in fact is the case, other than I guess he released video Monday or Tuesday nights, and then that was it. No more video for the remainder of the week.
Well, the way I heard it, Chuck Schumer leaned on Rupert Murdoch, is the story I read,
yes,
to shut Tucker up.
Yeah. Now, that may have led to these stopping of the video, but it sure as heck did not shut Tucker up. Okay. In fact, Tucker commented, to say comment would be putting it mildly. Tucker was barking about it for the rest of the week as far as the DC people's response. Okay. But Glenn Beck. Yeah. Glenn Beck, I don't really watch Glenn Beck much, so I don't know if it was a podcast or a TV show. I can tell you there's like a 13 or 14-minute video on YouTube of Glenn Beck's show in which he interviews Tucker Carlson. And that's
he does YouTubes of his show. Particular interviews, and then they post them on YouTube.
Yep. And surprisingly, YouTube hasn't blocked it. Okay. That was a pleasant surprise. But it was some of what Tucker Carlson said to Glenn Beck that I found interesting. Tucker Carlson admits to being naive. I believe he used that word. He even confessed, said, and I'm going to paraphrase here because I don't have the exact quote, but Tucker Carlson even said, I suppose some people will think I was stupid. And he was talking in regards to when this whole J6 thing first started off. Tucker Carlson felt that, yes, some people were out and out lying, but that others, to include Republicans, Liz Cheney and Adam Kinzinger on the J6, and then I think it went on to include perhaps Mitch McConnell. I don't quite remember, but
it did.
But Tucker Carlson made the comment. He goes, I was willing to give them the benefit of the doubt that they were eating around the corners of the truth. Okay. And he goes, that's not the case. And Tucker Carlson saying this to Glenn Beck, he goes, that's not the case. These people out and out lied. And then he very emphatically says, they're all liars. Well, as I'm watching this, I about want to yell out, welcome to the party, bud. I mean, your thoughts so far, Mac?
Yeah, it's we know they're liars. We knew what these charges these J6ers were getting were BS. The only person who died there was Ashley Babbitt. They tried to say a police officer died because he got hit over the head with a fire extinguisher, which he did, and there's no condoning that kind of action. But because you certainly could kill someone with a fire extinguisher to the head. But apparently the guy died of an unrelated stroke the following day. Well, so we know a lot. They lied about what they were saying.
And not only that, but Tucker Carlson accused Merrick Garland of lying, because he read, Merrick Garland got up, the United States Attorney General gets up to the podium and says how 5 police officers died. And he goes, that's a lie. It's 5 police officers didn't die. He goes, the one, Sicknick, I think is how you say his name. He goes, you can see him walking around on video after the incident supposedly happened. And he goes, it's all a lie.
I believe a couple of those gentlemen took their own lives.
Well, when you say couple, it almost, I don't know if all four committed suicide, but yeah, and that I thought that was strange too. What would compel a Capitol police officer to commit suicide unless maybe they were guilty over what happened that day? You know what? Who knows why they did what they did?
Yeah.
God
have
but
mercy on him.
I'm coming back to the whole Tucker Carlson thing where he seemed genuinely surprised. He goes, I grew up in D.C. I guess his dad was somehow politically involved, and so he knew there were D.C. shenanigans, but this whole he just couldn't believe the depths of their deceit.
Are you paying attention? And we did a video months and maybe years ago that talked about how could Tucker be surprised that this or that or the other thing was happening? How could you be surprised? Maybe he's part of that bubble as well, that they just don't realize what the lives the rest of us are leading.
Exactly. Well, I mean, who knows where this is going to lead Tucker Carlson to? But like I said, as I was listening to it all, I'm sitting there thinking, welcome to the party, bud. And then I thought, well, better late than never. But
yes.
But and what I wanted to also say is, Tucker Carlson told Glenn Beck, he goes, we know what video they watched because it left a digital bookmark. Wherever they watched, it left a digital bookmark. And he goes, so to hear them say what they were saying and know what they saw on video, and that might have been putting it over the top with Tucker, was to hear them say what they were saying, and he knows they saw video to the contrary.
Well, it didn't fit the whole purpose of this entire thing. No reasonable person believes that was an insurrection. This is the most armed country in the world, I do believe. And we do an unarmed insurrection? Please, that just doesn't even make any sense.
Well, I think the biggest surprise, and I was a little surprised too at this, was Dan Bongino calls him the Chewbacca guy. Because he walks around with that horned hat of something. And
QAnon shaman.
Dan Bongino calls him the Chewbacca guy, Chewbacca-looking guy. Walked around with a police escort,
opening the doors to the Senate chamber for him.
Yeah, I mean, and also, and I know this is a little off topic because we talked about it a little bit last week already, but these people were so violent, yet you can show them walking through the rotunda between the what do you call those things where you kind of mark off a path to walk between? Doggone, I forget.
You're talking about the like rope things that you keep people in line.
There's a name for it, and I forget what they're called. Stanchions with the where they got they're intended to direct crowds. Well, here are these violent protesters are walking right down through them like a normal, well-behaved visitor would. and that, when you think of what was said and perpetrated, and then you see how yes, you saw people breaking windows and that, but for instance, you saw a video of one guy picking up a sign up off the floor as if he was setting it back up in place or something. It was really weird, but
well, the whole purpose of that thing was to smear Donald Trump, that it was done in his direction, when there is audio and evidence to the contrary. But they ignored that. They ignored his calls for more National Guard to come in and help out. This was planned. It's like everything. These are treacherous, insidious people.
and now Tucker Carlson is fully aware of it, and that's the point I'm going to beat home in this one. That's all I got. I'm glad he arrived to the party. Better late than never.
Yes.
But that's all I got. Any further thoughts or comments?
No, I'll let it lie. We could go on forever, I'm sure, but
Yep. All right. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks everyone for your support. We'll catch you in the next segment. As always, be safe, watch your six, and don't tread on me.